Hi, I'm Shayne Rodríguez Thompson, and this is Mamá Sin Filtros. As a Latina who was born in the United States to Puerto Rican parents, maintaining my culture has always been a huge priority for me. Although both of my parents were born in Puerto Rico, my family has been here for a really long time. My great-grandmother and grandmother on my mother's side moved here back in the early 50s, and my mom was born in 1959 when my grandmother was traveling to Puerto Rico. My father, on the other hand, didn't move here until somewhere around the middle of his childhood, but he's already been here now for going on 50 years. So at the time that my brother was born, who is 7 years older than me, in the late 1970s, my parents decided not to teach him Spanish because at the time it wasn't considered a benefit. It was something that was used as a way to discriminate against Puerto Ricans and other Latinos. And my parents were afraid that he would get behind in school, not because he couldn't handle school, but because that's just kind of how people with last names like ours who spoke Spanish and had an accent were treated back then. So then when I came around several years later, they chose to teach me English so that I could communicate with my brother more easily. And life got busy and they never really got around to teaching us more Spanish. We were exposed to it all the time. And my parents predominantly spoke Spanish to each other within the house. So of course we picked up on lots. I can understand it very well, and I do my best to teach my children the language. However, that is not the primary way that I teach them our culture because it's not the thing that I'm most comfortable with. There really are some challenges in making sure that the culture stays alive and that it doesn't get too washed out by our Americanness. We love being American, we love that we're from here, we love that we live here, but at the same time, as each generation passes, each new wave of kids is born into the family, it's difficult not to let there be less and less of our Boricua roots shine into our lives. So it takes a concerted effort. It does. It takes something that we have to pay attention to and do on a daily basis. And since I love, love, love cooking, and my kids have been cooking with me since they were toddlers, I find that that's the best way to teach them through our food and our music and visiting Puerto Rico as often as we can so that they can experience the island and the people firsthand. But my very favorite way to keep them in touch with our culture is through food. All right, kiddos, today we're gonna make arroz con gandules for lunch. Remember, you keep your fingers back here and we go through. You take your time because you're a kid and you're just learning, right? You think you can do it?
Yes.
Okay. 2 hands, curl your fingers in. Yes.
Good job, that's exactly the right amount.
Is it hard to cut out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lower that way down. Okay, good. That's enough.
It looks so good.
Ooh, it does look good.
I really, really love getting in the kitchen with them and whipping up a mofongo or teaching them how to make things like arroz con habichuelas, or around the holidays, my father and my brother and I all get together with the kids around the table and we always make a big batch of pasteles, and they love, love, love doing that and spending time with us in that way and learning about who they are and where they come from and the things that make us Puerto Rican, the things that shape our culture and who we are. And I believe in my heart that they are benefiting hugely from having a foundation and knowing who they are from the very beginnings of their lives, of knowing where they came from and who their people are and what made us into who we are today. And it's so exciting and it makes me so happy to know that one day they'll be able to pass these same traditions along to their own families, and that they'll know how to cook our foods and listen to our music and dance to our music, and that they will also maybe one day prioritize teaching their own children about our incredible, incredible culture.